Have you ever wondered how top performing business owners leverage Slack to build multi-million-dollar operations? Well, today I'm going to be pulling back the curtains on how a seven-figure business owner, like myself, transforms Slack from a simple messaging tool into a powerful command center for their entire organization. And we're going to be going beyond just basic team communication. I'm going to be showing you how to turn Slack into your business's central nervous system, where every critical conversation, decision, and workflow lives. And if you're ready to eliminate communication silos and streamline your operations, this is going to be your playbook for making it happen. So I'm literally going to be taking you through step by step exactly how to set up Slack the right way. And I'm going to be showing you the absolute best features on Slack, which almost nobody knows about, or if they do know about it, they don't use it correctly. So if you already have a Slack account set up, you can skip the first part and go straight to the important features. All right, so first you are going to go to slack.com. I purposely logged out just to show you what you would be looking at. So it would probably look something very similar to this. And then you would just go ahead and click Get Started. And as you note here, Slack is free to try, and most of its features are free until you get to a certain level. So at this point, you would, of course, enter in your email address. All right, so as you can see, like you'll probably see something like this. You might see other workspaces below if you've been a part of a different workspace, or of course, if you already have your own workspace. But in this particular case, I'm just going to assume that you don't. So we're going to go create a new workspace. Now, of course, you can mark this if you want to receive marketing communications, but I think any CEOs watching this already get way too much email, so I'm definitely not going to mark that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and name the company or team. Doesn't really matter too much, I guess. You know, obviously you'd wanna pick something, somewhat related to your company. So I guess I'll pick something like Shane Hummus Team. So yeah, Shane Hummus Team, let's see if that's taken. Looks like it's good to go. And then it says, help your teammates recognize and connect with you more easily. You just say Shane Hummus. And then you can change your profile photo. Generally speaking, especially if you don't know everyone on your team or you have a bigger team, it's good to have kind of a professional headshot here. It just helps people know you and like you. That's actually in our SOPs. We make sure that everyone has a relatively professional headshot so that we can recognize them easily. And then go next. So who else is on the Shane Hummus team? I'll go ahead and enter one of my team members' emails. And yeah, I think that's good enough for now. Obviously, you'd enter other people's emails, everyone that you want to be on the team, at least originally. And of course, you can give them manager access or anything like that later on so that they can actually add other people to the team too. So if you want to just save yourself time, you can just add one person who is then going to get manager access and then add everyone else for you. You can also copy invite link and you can send this to other people. So you would literally just copy invite link, and then you would send it to other people on a different messaging medium, possibly email, for instance, or text message, etc. And then you could go next. You can also skip this step if you want. I don't know why you would skip this step. It wouldn't really make any sense, but you can skip it. So you'll probably go next here. Now at this screen, you can either upgrade to Slack Pro immediately, which has unlimited message history, voice and video huddle, people at other organizations, more connected apps, etc. You probably don't need any of this right now. I will say that being able to work with people at other organizations is one of my favorite Slack features. I used to have like many Slacks open at once, but now I'm actually able to work with other people that have different Slack groups, and it's actually embedded inside of my own Slack. So just for that reason alone, Slack Pro is probably worth it, but it's not something that you need right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say start with the limited free version. All right, so here you get a welcome screen where it says welcome to Slack. Says it's the ultimate tool to up your team's collaboration and productivity. And here are a few tips to keep in your back pocket as you build your workspace. Now, I'm gonna give you much better tips. So if you want to, you can go through that, but it's pretty basic. So I'm just gonna click X here. Now, you'll notice here on the left side that I did invite Jasper, but he hasn't actually joined. I'm gonna have him join here in a moment, and you'll see that his profile picture will actually change when he joins. So as you see on the left-hand side, we've got new channel, we've got all Shane Hummus team, and we've got social here. And it is quite easy to add channels as well. And if, let's just say you don't really like this channel, you can easily just delete it or you can leave the channel too. So as you notice on the left side, there's different tabs. So you've kind of got an outer tab and then an inner tab. The outer tabs are quite useful as well, but the two that you're probably going to spend the most time on are going to be home and DMs. Home is, of course, where we're at right now. This is where you can access all the different channels. DMs is for direct messages. This is where you can, of course, send direct messages to people, but you can also do that just from this tab too. And then activity becomes important if you have a lot of different conversations going on. Both activity and DMs become important if you have a lot of different threads or conversations going on and you want to keep track of them. And look here, I actually had somebody message me. So Jas sent me a message, and it was that they accepted the invitation to join Slack. And he messaged me, "Good day." So I'm gonna go ahead and message him back. "Good day, sir. Have you subscribed to Shane Hummus channel yet?" Okay, so I sent him a message. And as you can see, when he messages me here, or when he interacts with my message, which you can do that by here, you can mark it complete, or you can say taking a look, or you can say nicely done, etc. Or there's many other different emojis you can use. You can do a heart. You'll see that it actually shows up in the activity tab over here on the left. So yeah, these are the basics. They're pretty intuitive. They're pretty easy to kind of see what's going on. Let's move on to things that are a little bit more useful. So as somebody who runs 2 different 7-figure businesses, I have a YouTube channel with over 1 million subscribers. Obviously, I have to keep things organized. And so I'm going to show you some of the most important ways to do that. And the first one is adding channels. So I think it's relatively obvious, but you would add channels here just by simply clicking add channels. So create a new channel. And there's a bunch of different templates here for, them thinking like what you might want to use, but I'm just going to go ahead and do a blank channel. And then we're going to go ahead and name the channel YouTube ideas. Okay, so YouTube ideas, then we're gonna go create. And then it just says add all members of Shane Hummus team. So you can add right there. Or if you want to, you can add specific people. Obviously, if you have a larger team, you probably don't wanna add all of the members of your team because they're just gonna have a lot of channels at that point. But if you have a smaller team, you'll probably just go ahead and add all members of the Shane Hummus team. And of course, they can always leave later on too. So I'm gonna go ahead and add. And it automatically added Jasper to the channel. Next, we're gonna add a private channel. So this would be a channel that other people cannot join unless they are actually prompted to join. So this would be something like a leadership channel. Obviously, you wouldn't want everybody reading the messages in a leadership channel. So that would be an example of a private channel. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. So you click add channel, create a new channel, go next, and then we're gonna add a private channel. So only specific people can only be viewed or joined by invitation. So I'm just gonna say leadership here, say create, and then I'm going to add Jasper again. So add, and as you can see, it has this little lock emoji on the left side. That means that it is a private channel, and that means that people can only join by invitation. So the way that you would invite people is you can invite people right at the beginning, or if you have a new person, you'd go up here to leadership, go to members, and then you would add people here. And you would type in their email or the name, and that would pop up, and then you'd add them that way. You can also remove people, of course, by clicking right here. Now, when we were a smaller team, we would keep almost everything in one channel. Now we have tons of different channels, and I'm actually gonna show you my Slack here in a little bit so you'll kind of see how we structure things. Now, one thing that is extremely useful is actually separating things by creating different sections. And the way that you would do that is you'd go to channels, click on it, then you go to create and create section. So you could choose a name here. So, you could, for instance, choose like leadership and then go create. So this would be the leadership section. And then you can actually drag this channel into the leadership section. So it's a little redundant because it says leadership and leadership, but I think you get the point. And then these other ones would be in the normal section. You could also create another channel for maybe content, for instance, and then just put all of the content creation in that section. This is a really good way to separate things. And if you don't want to have to look at this, you can just click here and then all of them disappear. So that's a way of keeping things organized on the side. All right, so now we're actually going to switch over to my Slack, the team Slack. and I'll show you kind of how it works. So, we are still on the home tab. All the way at the top right here, this is my integrations with other Slacks. So this is the thing you can do with Slack Pro, where you actually integrate into literally other companies' workspaces. And you can talk to those other companies. So this is incredibly useful if you're consulting another company, or if you're being consulted by another company, or you're working with a recruiting company, or et cetera, things like that. It's just insanely useful for that. It's literally one of my favorite features. With that being said, that is for the Pro version, and it lies under the external connections. And of course, to add those people, you would add external people. And then you go through that process of adding somebody else that is in a separate workspace. Now, I do want to talk really quickly. Now, you can kind of see how we separate and organize things here. So we have management updates, which is the leadership chat. That's kind of what I talked about before. Then we've got team updates. We got break room, general, and random. These are places where people often post just random, like throughout the entire team. It doesn't matter what part of the company they're in. It's for messages that literally everyone should read. And then we've got Content Growth Engine. So this is my YouTube coaching company where I help busy business owners make money and grow their channel on YouTube. And then we got YouTube, and there's a bunch of channels here for all different aspects of YouTube, like script writing, thumbnail, video editing, et cetera, et cetera. And then we've just got kind of like random channels over here. So Calendly, canceled bookings, CGE client updates, customer wins, et cetera. And then I've got everyone below. So these are actually the people on my team, and I have them separated into different departments as well. So the people at the very top are on my leadership team. Then I've got the social media management team, copywriters, video editors, and then just other random people that don't necessarily fall under any specific department. So one massive hack that you absolutely should have is channels that increase people's camaraderie, because if you have a remote team, it can feel a little bit lonely. So you want people to be able to kind of interact with each other freely, show their personality, and have a little bit of fun. And one of my favorite channels for that is the random channel. So as you can see, my team is sharing some memes here. We've got the Giga Chad meme shared by JJ here. With looks like lasers coming out of his eyes. And I guess it's somebody, giving me a compliment on one of my channels. Yeah, this dude is a Giga Chad, finally a remote work channel that doesn't recommend those stupid survey websites. And we've got other people that, they're hanging out and they took a picture together, and they showed it in the channel as well. So random channel is great. It's honestly a super, super fun channel. I spend a lot of time there. And I send like stuff that I think is funny there too. And sometimes that stuff actually ends up in our videos too. So it can actually end up being kind of like comedy relief too sometimes. So very, very important channel to have. Honestly, one of the most important channels to have, because you want your team to have good camaraderie. Also, general chat. This is where, a lot of people share stuff here too. Usually it's a little more serious, although we still joke around on general chat sometimes as well. As you can see, there's, a lot of stuff happening here. Looks like one of the team members actually had their work anniversary, and so we're celebrating that. So you can, of course, react to that by doing this, and you can do a comment here. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, congrats at Roy and at Alexis. Alexis is actually in the room right now. So congrats at Roy and at Alexis. And you can either just comment on the thread itself. So this would just be one of the comments down below. Or if you want it to be visible on the main chat, you can just click here, and then it's visible on the main chat, right? So it's not just on the thread, but it's also on the main chat. So if it's something very important, you usually want to do that. And then we also have a break room chat where basically everyone lets everyone else know when they are, taking breaks essentially. All right, so scrolling down, we're going to talk about the starred section. So these are people that you basically talk to quite a bit. I typically have my leadership team in the starred section because those are the people that are directly reporting to me, and they're the ones who kind of know the projects we're doing, and they make sure that the projects are done on time. Which, by the way, if your business is a mess and you don't know how to handle that, I highly recommend reading the book Traction and following what's known as the Entrepreneur Operating System, or EOS. Probably will make a video on that in the future. And if you're curious about how to implement a system like that when it comes to content creation so that you can effortlessly create content in only a few hours a month, then go ahead and book a call with me down in the description and the pinned comment below, because that's exactly what I teach people how to do. All right, so I have my leadership team here in the starred section. There's also another thing you can do, which is called the VIP section. And in this particular case, I'm just going to use Jas as an example, and I'm going to add him to the VIP section. So when Jas messages me, it's actually sent to the very top of my chat. So I don't even need to scroll down to see it. It's sent to the very top of the chat. So this is incredibly useful if there's someone who you really have to see their messages right away, because you will see it right away, right when they message you, because it'll be at the absolute top of the chat. You don't even need to scroll down. So I would just click on that and I would read his message. Now, additionally, Jasper just sent me a message where he actually used the @ function, which I'll show you how to do here in a moment, where he basically put @ and then my name on a different chat, and it also put it up to the very top. But yeah, on the leadership chat, he just said, hey, @Shane. It put it at the very top of the chat. So the VIP function can be really good, especially if there's someone who you really need to get back to their messages very quickly. So for instance, if you have a client, right, you could put them as a VIP and then you get back to their messages more quickly than other people. So one thing you should always instruct your team members to do is set you as VIP, because obviously if you're messaging them, you'd probably want them to get back to you more quickly, and they will get back to you more quickly if they set you as VIP. So that's something that my operations manager did. She told everyone to set me as VIP, so they tend to get back to me very quickly when I message them. So I'll quickly show you how to use the @ feature. It's quite simple, but you just go, hey, @ the person's name, and then you'd click enter and write your message to them. And again, it'll notify them, and it'll also make it clear who you're talking to. And then additionally, if you want to notify everyone in the channel, you can go to hey @channel. So the @channel will send it to everyone in the channel. And then if you just happen to have people who are online, for instance, if you work in a team that is distributed all throughout the world and you guys work at different times, you can actually just go @here as well. And it'll just send it to people who are online right now. And then if you want to send a message to literally everyone in the entire Slack, which I'm going to do right now, you can go to the general chat, which when we created the one before, it was called All Shane Hummus Team, but you can of course call it just general chat if you want. It's the one that's very first, and it has literally everyone that you invite into the team on it. And you can type a message like this, just telling JJ that her GigaChad meme did in fact make it into the video, and just put @everyone, and it will send it to literally everyone in your entire Slack. So everybody that is in your Slack gets this message. Now, another thing you can do is actually inside of bigger channels, you can message just very specific people. So I'm gonna go ahead and message the video editors right now on the general chat. So the way that I would do that is I would type @video editors, which is a group, which I'll show you how to create here in a moment. And then I'll just say test message. So other people will be able to see it, just to be clear, but the people that you are trying to talk directly to, it will actually mention them, which means instead of saying this person, this person, this person, and this person, you can just say @video editors, and it will tag that person, and they will know that you're talking directly to them. Now, the way that you would create a group is you would actually go up to the top, you'd click the workspace name, just like this, then you'd go down here, then you go to tools and settings, you hover over it, and then you go down towards the middle here to manage members. Click on manage members, and then you would go over to the side and you would go user groups. Click on that, and then you go edit user groups, and then you can see we have a bunch of different user groups here. We've got the CSM team, leadership team, marketing copywriters, sales team, etc. But if you wanted to, you could create a new group and you could, name it by name. You'd want to, pick a pretty logical name, obviously. So for instance, I could, say social media managers, just as an example, and create that as a new group. And you would do that by clicking create a new group, and then just naming them, and then putting the right people into that group. It's pretty simple. Another really cool feature is you can basically message people and tell them that you sent them a message on a channel. So for instance, I could go to Jasper here and I can say, hey, Jasper, I sent you a message on pound marketing, or hashtag, depending on how you want to say that, just to kind of remind them which one it is. And they can actually just click on that and it'll just take it right to the correct channel. So if you click on marketing team, it'll take you right to the marketing team channel. Now, another really great feature that not enough people know about is you can actually go to the top here and just go to the search bar and click it. So just as an example, you could search in marketing, and then you could go, marketing team, and you could go after that, maybe you want to see a message from Jasper. So you can go Jasper in the marketing team, and then you can see all the messages that Jasper has sent in that channel. And then additionally, you can even go further than that and you could say landing page. So messages from Jasper about landing pages. So literally all of these messages are from Jasper in the marketing team channel, and they have to do with landing pages. So if you ever lost anything, you know you had a very important conversation, but you just lost it for whatever reason, these features make it incredibly easy to find that information. And I use this all the time because there are important conversations that we had in the past, and then I'll kind of forget about them, or I'll lose something, or someone will send me a really important link, and then I'll forget about it. And then this is how I actually find it in the future. And it's actually a really great feature to use. Now, another really cool feature you can use is you can type from, we're going to use Jasper in this case. So from Jasper, and then you can go to has, for instance, file. So this is from Jasper, and it's like he sent files, So here's a video of, we were setting up a desk, for instance, and that's a file that he sent me. Here's another file that he sent one of the channels, etc. So if let's just say someone sent you an important file, maybe it's a video or a photo or a PDF, you can just be like from that at that person, and then has file, and it'll show you all the files that person has sent you. So again, extremely useful. Now, next is one of my absolute favorite features for staying organized, which is the Canvas feature. So on all of your different channels, you can actually just click on Canvas here, and you can put important resources here. So just as an example, here are some important resources. We've got the link to the YouTube channel, link to the website, link to our coaching program, the Team Hummus welcome packet. So these are kind of the most important things to know if you are new to Team Hummus. The Team Hummus org chart. So this is actually an organizational chart that has like everybody on the team in it. So as you can see, it just kind of shows like the different people on the team. This isn't even actually updated, but it is super helpful, especially if someone's just coming onto the team. Then we have the EOS VTO public issues list. If you follow Entrepreneur Operating System or Traction, you'll know exactly what that is. And then Claude AI SOP resource library. Claude is the primary AI that we use for content creation. So that's kind of our SOPs, and our resources are right there. And then just a bunch of different important reminders, right? So reminders for the team, and then a bunch of different team assets like access to the Google Drive, access to my life story, stories from Shane in general, just stories that I've told about maybe my clients, for instance, client testimonial videos, and also access to descriptions of the different client testimonials as well. So not just the videos from them, but kind of giving a bit of a backstory on the clients, like where they were before they started working with us and where they are now after working with us. So just clicking on this, we have a bunch of clients here. These are some of the clients that have gotten really good results, that have gotten to like 7 or 8 figures. And then there's the SOP creation template. This is a template to easily be able to create standard operating procedures that people are going to be following on a day-to-day basis. And then all the way at the very bottom, we have this workflow feature, which is a little bit complicated. This is kind of advanced, but essentially what this is an automation to where, like, let's just say we onboard a new copywriter or a new script writer onto the team, they can actually just click this start workflow feature, and it'll automatically add them into all the important channels, and it'll give them all the important things that they need, just all automatically with the click of a single button. So as you can see, there's a lot of really cool stuff, really good resources on this that just make it incredibly easy for people that are newly onboarded into the Slack to access everything and know exactly where they need to go to access important information. Now, additionally, I'm gonna go to video editing team and show you that the canvas is actually different for this channel. So as you can see, we do have some of the same stuff like YouTube Shane Hummus, Team Hummus content bucket, but then we also have incentive guidelines. We have incentives for our video editors, and just video editor guidelines in general, where we have the SOPs for the video editors and the stuff that they would need. And we have an asset library for editors down here where they can basically use the same assets that we use over and over again when it comes to editing YouTube videos or other types of videos that we put out. Now, another feature I want to talk about is the later feature. This is super useful, especially if you're a busy business owner. And so Jas just sent me an important message saying, don't forget about uploading the video. Now, unfortunately, I'm gonna be joining a meeting right now, so I don't have time to upload the video. And I don't wanna forget this. So what do? I'm going to go ahead and right click this message and I'm going to click save for later. Now you can also do this by right clicking and then I don't personally memorize all those keyboard shortcuts, but some people are really into that kind of thing. And then the great thing about this is you can basically pick whether you want to do it in 20 minutes, an hour, 3 hours, tomorrow, next week, or custom. So a lot of the time I'll just do it like an hour from then or 3 hours. And in that case, it'll actually remind me an hour from now and it'll pop up in the channel. And then of course I'll read it and it'll pop up as an unread message on the side. So I will be reminded and I'll read it again in an hour and then I'll upload the video. And additionally, you can actually find every later on the left and you can just hover over it and see these. And of course, it looks like there's about 8 laters that I haven't seen yet. So it's doing its job. So I will check those after I record this video. So another really cool feature you can do is polls. You can see here, I've typed this on the general chat, poll, how many accounts do you have subscribed to the Shane Hummus channel? And then you can do semicolon 1, shift enter, semicolon 2, shift enter, and then semicolon 3, and then you can actually just go enter, and then people can react to it. I'll have Jas react to it now. And Jas reacts with 3 because he has 3 accounts subscribed to the Shane Hummus channel. So this is a very quick and easy way to kind of do polls. Now, very similar to the later feature is the remind feature, but with the later feature, you do it in direct messages to people. And with the remind feature, you can do it in your chats. So to access this, you would do /remind, and then I clicked enter here and it will remind me to upload the video at 7:07 p.m. today. All right, so another really cool feature is the pins feature. So if you have a really important message, for instance, this GigaChad message that JJ sent, you can actually pin it at the top of the channel. And it's just another way to kind of reinforce like certain things that are really important. Like let's just say, for instance, your team is doing something that you don't want them to do, and you really want to remind them to not do it, or the opposite, they're not doing something that you do want them to do and you want to remind them to do it, you can actually pin a post, make a really important post and then pin it. And so the way to do that is to just right click and you go to more message actions, then you go to pin to channel. And so it automatically pinned this to the channel. Then you go to the top here, you go to pins, and you'll see that this is a pinned message now. And then additionally, you've got files at the top here, and these are files that were shared in the channel. So if you remember which channel you've shared a file in, you can go to files and it'll be a lot easier to find it. This is especially useful if you shared some kind of picture or screenshot that was really important and then you didn't remember exactly where it was, but you remembered which channel it was shared in. Now, by the way, guys, if you want to use keyboard shortcuts, I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to use it. I don't personally use these very often, but if you're a programmer, someone who's really used to doing that, you might be using these quite often. So Control / will actually show you all of the keyboard shortcuts you can use, which there are literally hundreds of them. And yeah, this can shave, maybe 20 or 30 minutes off your day if you're really good at using these. And by the way, if you're on a MacBook, you would press Command +/, and if you're on a PC, it would be Control +/. So one feature that's really cool is if you have people that ask certain questions over and over again, and you've noticed that, you can actually install what's known as Slack bots to automatically answer those questions. So let me show you how to use Slack bots. First, you want to go to the workspace, click on it, then you go to Tools and Settings, then you go to Workspace Settings, and then you go over to the side to Customize. Click on Customize, and then you go to Slack bot. So just as an example, if someone wants to file a leave and they ask that question, we actually have a Slack bot right here that gives them directions on exactly how they can file a leave. And it will just automatically message that back to them without anybody having to message it for them. So it's a really cool feature. I'll be honest with you, we could definitely be using this a lot more, but there's a few things we use it with. But it's just a really cool feature. And if you just notice that you're answering the same questions over and over again, or anybody else on your team is answering the same questions over and over again, that's a great feature that you can add. So we'll go ahead and add one here. I'm gonna click Add New Response. So let's just say when someone says, good morning, Slackbot could respond, good morning, enjoy your day. This is of course just an example, and then you could just go ahead and save it. I am going to delete this because it would be doing that a lot every single day. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. But when someone typed good morning, it would automatically respond to them. Now, you might have noticed that Billy basically automatically sent this message celebrating 2 different people's work anniversaries. And you might be wondering, how exactly do I install that? So what you'd want to do is go over to the left, scroll all the way to the bottom, and then go to Add Apps. And here you can find a bunch of different apps, such as Billy. And I'm actually going to pop up onto the screen some of the most useful ones. But one of them, for example, is the birthday bot. And this one is pretty self-explanatory. You put everyone's birthday in here, and whenever somebody has a birthday, it will actually wish them happy birthday in the morning and remind everyone else that it is, in fact, their birthday. And then additionally, Billy it also says the birthday bot, but you can actually use Billy for anniversary celebrations. So I think we use the birthday bot for birthdays and we use Billy for anniversary celebrations. And it's pretty simple. You would just click the one and you start using it. It's actually quite easy to start using. So you click on it and you would configure it. And it's honestly pretty straightforward. So I'm not going to show you how to use it. Now, additionally, there's a lot of different app integrations. So you've got Google Drive here, very useful. Loom, Google Calendar is extremely useful. So basically, Google Calendar feature is extremely useful. It'll remind you of different events that are upcoming, and it'll allow you to see your schedule. So yeah, you can definitely look into these. A lot of extremely useful apps and integrations. Asana is another really useful one. There's another really great one here, which is Poll Surveys, or ENPS. This is a favorite of people who are in HR because they can do polls and they can also see how happy people are with various different things on the team. There's also a Claude integration. We love using Claude, so this is a great integration to use. It is in beta right now. And then there's Ricotta Games. This is a way to play games and trivias and just to have fun with your team. Sometimes you might want to do this like once a week or do it on holidays. We use this for our Christmas parties, for instance. We also have a Calendly integration that basically puts Calendly meetings into a channel that we have integrated into Slack. So whenever somebody books a call with us, we actually see those Calendly meetings directly in Slack. Now, these are the easy ways to integrate different software into your Slack. If you want something extremely customized, you can actually use Zapier to integrate the software into your Slack as well. So for instance, this one here, we show the incoming payments for a low ticket product. So every time somebody pays for this product, we have it actually zapped directly into this channel. And we have it set up to where you can see the person's name, the amount, and the email address of the person as well. We also have another separate one where it will show us every single time somebody cancels a call on Calendly with us. So as you can imagine, that is extremely useful too. And of course, we have a channel where it'll show every single time someone pays. And this can actually be set up with multiple different things, not just something like Stripe, but you can also set it up with your bank account even, so it can just zap that information right in. Now, the next feature I want to talk about is going to be Slack huddles. So if you wanted to huddle with someone, you can actually just hover over their name and then click huddle. And this is almost like you're in a call with them. And you can actually huddle with multiple people at once as well. But it's almost like you're in a call with them, essentially. It's almost like a Discord room. It's very similar to that. And then additionally, you can actually just click right here and you can record an audio clip and send it to them. And the awesome thing about that, now I'm not going to do it because I'm already recording on the screen and it might mess that up. But the awesome thing about it is when you record an audio clip and then send it to them, it actually automatically transcribes it. So they don't actually have to listen to the entire thing. They can just read it, which I think is amazing because I have these thoughts and ideas and stuff off the top of my head, and I don't want someone to have to listen to 5 minutes of my rambling. I want them to just be able to read it, but sometimes I like to communicate in that way. I like to communicate verbally. Additionally, you can also actually record a video clip and just screen record. You can use Loom for this, or you can just use, right on Slack for it as well. Now, additionally, if there's a channel where you want to be able to read it, but you just don't want it to always pop up, you can choose to mute the channel. So let's just say this channel you don't really care, you want to mute it, you can just right click and then go mute channel. And then whenever things pop up in that channel, it will not notify you and it won't turn white on this side. So yeah, those are all the useful features that we use. We use this all the time in our multiple different 7-figure businesses that we host on Slack. Slack is an absolutely incredible tool for communication. I have no idea what I would do without Slack. It's a complete game changer. I love using it. My team loves using it. This is one of the tools that's allowed me to create like the content empire that I've created. And it's one of the tools that I always recommend for my clients to use. And if you're interested in coaching and building your personal brand so that you can get warm inbound leads on autopilot and building it in such a way where you can actually launch companies off of your personal brand, then go ahead and book a call with myself or my team down in the description in the pinned comment below as well. And if you're interested in seeing how I was able to build my personal brand YouTube channel, in fact, multiple different personal brand YouTube channels into 7-figure a month businesses, check this out right here.